I am Jeremy Crawford, playing the role of Dungeon Master this evening as we make our return to the icy prison of Revel's End.
I'm so excited to have a live Acq Inc. show. I've really missed it during this COVID time, and it's going to be fantastic to return. I was actually going to return at PAX West, but for health reasons I couldn't. And so my friend Kate Welsh kindly stepped in and did a fantastic job of DMing, and I will now be picking up the torch from her and continuing our wonderfully bonkers story.
As you take in this amazing machine that several of you have ridden in before to travel from Ravnica to Hell, back to Waterdeep, and to other various strange interstitial realms, here it is with Artificer extraordinaire Vi. Honeys, we need to get out.
My biggest challenge DMing Acq Inc. is I never have enough time in any of the episodes to fit in everything I prepared. Now, to be fair, this is a challenge that I have even in my home D&D game, but in the format of being up on stage and it needing to be a show with an end rather than, like a home game sometimes, it's like, oh, we'll go ahead and play for 5 or 6 hours. Like, no, the show has to have a stop point. And so I often end up with material that there's just no room for it. But what I always try to do is take it and push it into future episodes, often reskinning it in some way, so that in many ways my prep never goes to waste.
As your fling tongue hits the vials and the blood splatters out, blood everywhere. I said blood everywhere.
Yeah, it's absolutely
blood.
Oh,
blood,
shit.
blood, blood, blood.
Yes.
Blood.
I think, so I have loved so many moments in Acq Inc. From the first time at PAX South, the crowd started chanting blood, blood, blood when we were at the Rakdos Blood Circus, to many of the amazing character interactions that I've gotten to just witness up on stage as the amazing players have their characters interact. But I have to say, among all of them, one of my favorite things was the episode where I surprised the cast by walking out on stage dressed up as Jim Darkmagic. And the players had no idea whom or what I was going to come out on stage dressed up as. So when you saw their surprise on stage at me being dressed up as one of their characters, that was real surprise. And that episode to me just kept giving in terms of fun moments, because when they then finally made it to the Jim clone, also known as the real Jim Darkmagic, to his big war machine showmobile, the memorable moments just kept coming.
Your minds are stronger than I expected.
Yeah.
Even you are able to resist the power despite it being amplified with the unicorn horn.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just have to turn it up. And so he begins cranking the ballista up. We'll get back to you in just a moment.
I would say one of my favorite things DMing Acq Inc., and actually it's going to have to be two. But actually, you know what? I'm gonna fuse them into one. My favorite thing of Acq Inc. is the players. And here's what I mean when I said I just fused what I thought were two different things into one. Because for me, when I say the players of Acq Inc., I'm not only referring to the amazingly talented folks on stage with me, I'm also talking about the audience. I have always thought of the audience as Acq Inc. as the other player at the table, which is one of the reasons why I so often like to have the audience participate. Whether it's, crying out green flame, as in the past, or new chants like blood, 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 or cheese. or other forms of audience participation. I love that sense of the audience having a seat at the table, along with Jerry and Mike and the others, all of whom are so funny and so generous with each other as players. I love seeing how they set up each other's jokes, how as performers they really give to each other, and also how generous they are with rolling with the often ridiculous things that I throw at them as their dungeon master.